Hello, everyone. It is so good to see you all. Thank you for joining us at Blue Heron Headwaters Conservancy's 2024 annual meeting. It's now 10 o'clock, so let's get started. The length of this meeting will be approximately 1 hour. We welcome you to use the chat box and interact with us throughout the meeting. It is up to you whether you leave your camera on or off, but we kindly ask that you stay muted until the end of the presentation. If at any point during the meeting you are having technical difficulties or need assistance from us, you can reach out to Mary at 248-568-7153. We will begin the meeting with a welcome from Blue Heron's President Emily Duthin in a series of short videos. Then we will review projects and accomplishments from 2023 and share our year with you. We will announce the Tom Bullen awardee and share the year's income and expenses. After that, we'll share our vision statement, mission statement, and areas of strategic planning, and talk about some upcoming plans we have for 2024. The presentation will be concluded with an interactive activity for a chance to win some prizes. There will also be fun quiz questions popping up throughout the meeting, so we hope you have fun, learn something new, and leave this meeting feeling inspired to continue supporting land and water.
Welcome to our 2024 annual meeting. This is our new office. Come on in. We have moved up from Suite 2 to Suite 1. We're in the same building, just down the hall, closer to the front door. So we were bursting at the seams in our old place. This gives us twice the space, and I invite you all to come on down. We'll give you the grand tour. We really are enjoying our new space. I hope you enjoy our annual meeting. We have a lot to tell you about the projects that we are working on to protect the wetlands where sandhill cranes and other birds are breeding, and the other projects we are doing to protect the headwaters of 4 rivers in this area. Thank you. Have you noticed the days are getting longer? The birds have noticed. This is their cue to migrate north to their breeding grounds. I've seen sandhill cranes near my house by our Noah Preserve. These elegant birds mate for life, and the pair at the Noah Preserve have been raising chicks there for years. These tall birds have gray and brown feathers and a distinctive red cap. They breed in the wetlands, fields, and prairies that we protect at Blue Heron Headwaters Conservancy. Sandhill cranes were hunted for their feathers until they were endangered early in the last century, and thanks to prohibitions against hunting and protections for their habitats, their populations have recovered. They are now easy to spot thanks to their distinctive prehistoric call, which can be heard for miles. The future of sandhill cranes is tied to protection of their habitats, especially wetlands.
We are lucky to bring all of this to you because we have a committed staff and a great board. I'd like to thank our staff, Anastasia Alexandrova, Dana Campbell, Kelly Duty, Chris Hardman, Mary Hersensteel, Susan Julian, that's me. I also serve as staff, and Janet Porter. Our executive board is Emily Duthin, President, Mike Doherty, Treasurer, Mike Metz, Vice President, Betty Moen, Secretary. And every month and throughout the month, our directors are also working. Nicole Breeden, Jean Gramlich, Sue Julian, me, Larry Godowski, Laura Perkins, Todd Rozier, Alex Smith, Madeline Swan, and helping us with our CPA issues, Marilyn Zagaric. This year, we were able to add an additional person to our staff, helping us with donor engagement. And her name is Kelly Duty, and I'm going to ask her to continue on with our presentation. Kelly, take it away.
Thank you, Sue. Excuse me. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. We've had many things to celebrate this year. We are proud to announce that the BHHC was awarded the Oak Land Award, which is given in recognition of community partners who preserve green infrastructure in Oakland County. Accepting the award this year was our board president, Emily Duthin, and our executive director, Sue Julian. And this was presented by Kristen Myers during the Trailwater and Land Alliance Fall Conference. Next, we have information on the Orman property. For over 20 years, Anita and Robert Orman lived on and maintained a 113-acre parcel in Davisburg. All 113 acres were put into a life estate that allowed them to pay reduced property taxes over the years in exchange for gifting the land to the BHHC. In November, we took full ownership of the land and the several buildings that currently stand on the property. Plans for how to best utilize the property are part of ongoing discussions right now. Debbie Hendrickson's vision, talent, and generosity of time and materials has transcended into a new storage shed built adjacent to Blue Heron office building. The shed houses all of the tools, materials, and equipment necessary for our many stewards and volunteers to carry out projects in the field on our many preserves. Debbie, thank you for this amazing addition to our organization. Melissa, Reed, Patty, and Israel, thank you for helping to build and finish the shed with Debbie. It takes a village, and we appreciate all of you. Connecting with kids in our communities remains a top priority for us. Claire Butler chose to create an urban tree lot on Dixie Independence Preserve for her Eagle Scout project. The project brought volunteers together to plant trees to feed the birds and other wildlife, while our intern, Ivy Manska, designed and illustrated a beautiful sign on the property, highlighting the benefits of urban tree lots. Claire's project is just one example of the many ways kids in our communities are engaged in our mission. Thank you, Claire. The Pow Sheet campaign concluded in 2023, and thanks to hundreds of individual donors and a very generous anonymous match, we reached our goal. The preserve continues to be a place of refuge for the butterflies as we work with MSU and the John Ball Zoo to increase the population of the Pow Sheet. All right, it's time for some fun. We're going to have our first poll. So the semi-aquatic animal has a concentration in Oakland County due to pockets of protected habitat in the region. It is a species of special concern in the state of Michigan and has a defining yellow characteristic. Is it the golden crowned kinglet, the Blanding's turtle, the painted turtle, or the garter snake? So if you want to choose one and hit submit. Hopefully everybody's had enough time to think and choose.
We'll do 10 more seconds.
Okay.
Thanks, Anastasia.
I sometimes read really slow, so especially under pressure. Okay, we'll end it here and share the results.
If you chose the Blanding's turtle, you are correct. The Blanding's turtle was the star of our Giving Tuesday this past year, as we brought awareness to this beautiful turtle that has become a species of special concern in our state. Oakland County has one of the highest populations of these special turtles in the entire Midwest, and therefore has become a focus for us as we work to increase their numbers that have dwindled in recent years due to urban development. Another project that we took on this past year is cooling the Kearsley. The Kearsley Creek, highlighted in our fall newsletter, is seeing increasing water temperatures due to clear cutting along its banks as urban development continues to change the landscape of our natural environment. The increasing water temperatures are having an impact on the wildlife as well, specifically the brown trout. Through a grant from Land Trust Alliance, the BHHC is able to begin planting new trees along the banks of the river, as well as monitor water temperatures in hopes of creating an environment where the brown trout can thrive. Our staff, volunteers, and presenters work hard to provide free educational opportunities throughout our communities. With over 40 programs in 2023, we educated hundreds of individuals on a broad range of topics as it relates to water, land, and wildlife conservation. Thank you to everyone that helps us to educate our communities on this very important mission. In the same vein of education, it's important to realize that we have all types of programs for all ages. So here you'll see nest box training, events at the Detroit Zoo, programs at the library teaching kids, presentations about our rain gardens and how you can create them, and obviously the benefits of planting native in your own backyard. So we have a broad range of programs, and if you haven't attended one, please go to our website, as we have a lot of great events coming up throughout this year as well. In the same vein of education, we provided a summer internship to Owen Herzensteel. Owen produced 3 instructional videos that are featured on our website on a variety of topics, from removing invasive species to the importance of milkweed for monarch butterflies. Owen was an important addition to our organization this past summer, and we wish him the best of luck as he continues his education in the television and digital media production department at Ferris State. A small hint, our poll questions today all came from Owen's videos posted on our website. So thank you so much to Owen, and again, helping us to educate the public. Another wonderful thing that we saw in 2023 is the fact that we increased our visibility through the use of social media. Our e-news, Facebook, and Instagram pages all saw a significant increase in visitors for 2023. In addition to education, each communication channel, also does a wonderful job with marketing our events, fundraisers, and volunteer programs as well. All right, Sue, it's your turn to present poll number 2.
Okay, so I think that you got the idea from poll number 1 if you've not been with us in previous annual meetings like this. Here's the question for poll number 2, and you'll have time to look through the answers. What are the identifying characteristics of invasive bittersweet? And in the background, you can see a group that has just been working on cutting bittersweet and other people hauling the vines out of the trees. So your choices are oval green leaves with slightly rough edges. Remember, this is multiple choice, right? Leaves alternating along the stem, green berries visible in the summer, but red-yellow berries visible in the fall, shallow, bright orange roots, vines that climb up and strangle trees, and the vine is always green and smooth. So you can select as many as you think are correct, or none if you think none of them are correct. This is a problem that we're having here in Oakland County, and many people in their backyards are finding that this vine is winding around trees and eventually strangling them. They kind of act like a boa constrictor, and they prohibit the fluids from going up and down in the trees that keep the tree alive. So it really must come down, and we thank all the volunteers who've been out helping us do that. So Anastasia, do you think they've had enough time to answer?
I see the bar still moving quite a lot, so
Okay.
I'm gonna give them like
Yeah.
maybe
Okay.
20 more
Well,
seconds.
it is indeed a lot to read. At the bottom, it says volunteers clear invasives like autumn olive, buckthorn, honeysuckle, and bittersweet from the trail at Hidden Ridge Preserve. This is one of the many properties that we protect for a homeowner group. And Emily Duthin, our board president, encouraged people from the local residences nearby, as well as other volunteers, to get out and yank vines out of the trees, cut them down, and then we dabbed them with glyphosate so that we were trying to kill the roots and hoping that they weren't coming back again. Okay.
All right, it's slowing down, so I will
All right.
end it and share the results.
Okay, let's see. I'm not getting an answer there because I don't see any checks. Okay, so the answer is really all of them except the last one. The vine is green and smooth. Unfortunately, at an early stage, you might see it that way, but later it gets quite rough. So that's not correct. All the other things are correct, and we hope that this will help you identify if you have this problem in your backyard. Okay, we'll move on. We were helped throughout the year and are expecting help again in the following year from many different organizations. Now take a look at all the logos that we have up here. Kelly is getting out and talking to more people, and we'll have additional ones to add in 2024. But as you can see in the next slide, it's not just the partners that are organizations, but many different individuals have gotten out to help us, whether we've been working on trail building or looking at new properties that we might possibly preserve. We ask neighbors to come and contribute their thoughts to that. In the upper right, you can see that we were working with a Girl Scout group, and they made a structure that helps protect turtle eggs. We call them turtle nest protectors. And when they are put over a turtle's nest, they'll protect it for about the 2 or 2.5 months that it takes for the turtles to hatch. Hopefully they won't be eaten by raccoons or skunks or dug up by crows, or even snakes enjoy turtle eggs. So thank you to the Scouts. Thank you to the different community volunteers that got out for our various events. In the lower right-hand corner, you can see someone who participated in our kayak launch opening at Fish Lake Road. As they went down the river, they got to ring the bell, and nobody fell in. Isn't that great? In the next slide, we find that volunteers are specifically helping with projects that we're engaged in over a longer period of time. Helping to move. Emily showed us our new housing at Suite 1 instead of Suite 2 on Dixie Highway. And Patty and Israel helped us clean up and paint and decorate. In the right, we're looking at a grove of cedar trees that we think we may be able to work with Ortonville on protecting, because they appear to be some of the oldest of those cedar trees around. And in another property, we are trying to reseed, and we'll be doing more this year because we're turning an old pasture into a prairie. So look at the number of hours of volunteer work that we have for people. We really appreciate all our donors and volunteers. And sometimes we have fun things for them to do, to go out on a night hike, or come to our opening where we had a donor engagement event, some nice food there, a chance to find out what we're doing, and the support of people in Clarkston. Thank you again to our donors and volunteers. It's time to award a special thank you. Every year, and you can see in the plaque at the left, there are names for every year. We have chosen among our many volunteers, outstanding people who have contributed a great deal in volunteerism of various sorts. Last year, we honored Jean Gramlich. And thank you, Jean, for the work of the past. But who are the awardees for this year? They are Greg and Michelle Petrosky. Here you see them in action. They've been doing so many things throughout the year, working on our NESBOC program, doing macroinvertebrate monitoring along with Clinton River Watershed Council, helping on various times when we've been out clearing the land, and even working in the office or taking letters home to bundle up for mailing and so on. So throughout the year, Greg and Michelle have been amazing volunteers, and we thank Team Petrosky, Greg and Michelle, and are awarding them the Tom Bullen Award for Distinguished Service in 2023. Mike is our treasurer, and he's going to explain a little bit about our finances for the last year.
Okay, good morning, everybody. So we're going to look at a couple just pie charts here that break down income and expense, and this is strictly for the operations portion of the organization. So there are a number of other funds and accounts that aren't included in here that have income and expense associated with them. Those have to do with the various properties and the Fred Rozier Fund, and most of those have to do with stewardship and maintaining those properties. So, and we also have a land acquisition fund. So for the operations portion of the organization, in terms of income, you can see that the majority of the income came from donations. And there are some other categories, major fundraisers. We got a little bit on grants, some maintenance fees, which is basically some rent paid to us. I'm sorry, the maintenance fees are the fees from homeowners associations associated with a few of the properties, and a little bit of investment income. But like I said, the majority of the income comes from donations. The Conservancy is highly dependent on the generosity of the community to continue its work and grow. So thank you, all of you that have donated to the organization over the past year.
Mike, could I ask why the orange is so large in this last year?
So we did receive a very large donation. Typically, the donation category is still the majority of what makes up our income. But it's a higher percentage this year simply because we had a very large donation at the end of the year. And so you're going to have to refresh my memory with the name of the individual. But
well, this is from the Samuel Trust, and a person who learned about us maybe almost 20 years ago remembered and put us in her will. And we were very surprised to receive that large donation. We expect the orange section to be large again next year, but not quite this large. This was a great, great donation, and thank you to the Samuel family. Thank you.
Okay, we can move on to the expense side. So this is how the expenses break out within operations once again. And it's pretty evenly distributed. Program services represent the things we do for programs for the community and for the organization. It includes the plant sale, any educational programs, any outreach, things like that. General administration makes up the expenses we have just to run the organization, basically. We didn't do much land acquisition this year, so it's a very small piece of what our expense was. Stewardship, it shows a small percentage here, but as I said earlier, most of the stewardship expense and income is in the other funds and accounts the organization has. So only a small portion of it comes out of operations. A little bit of grant expense and some fundraising expense that we use to help get the word out, generate funds. Any questions on that or anything else you wanted to bring up, Sue, on this?
Just that if people have questions, please call the office. But if you are interested, our books are open and we can answer any specific questions. I think I'd like to address the fact that land acquisition is such a small slice in 2023. It's not because we weren't working on that. It's that most land acquisition projects take several years, and we have 8 that we are looking at in 2024, and any one of those might have been able to be concluded in 23, but it didn't happen that way. So look for more action in 2024.
And once again, a lot of that income and expense may be in a different fund other than operations going forward. Is if we have a capital campaign for something, or so it wouldn't show here anyway. But
we had a question come in from Pete Blank.
Yeah.
Have you been able to partner on any grants with nearby organizations in the last few years?
Yes, we have, and we're going to talk about a continuing grant with Land Trust Alliance, and we are looking at additional work with the watersheds, particularly the Clinton and Huron watershed, but also possibly a nascent group in the Shiawassee watershed. Pete, I'll send you more information about that. I know you've been helpful in suggesting things, and we're very interested in hearing if you have additional suggestions.
Thank you, Mike and Sue.
Yep.
So, goal number 3. Remember, we said that this was going to be dealing with monarchs. So here's the question. And we're making it easy on you. This is just a true or false question. Monarch butterflies lay their eggs on milkweed plants and other native plants. True or false? I feel like the Jeopardy theme has to go in here. Dun, 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 dun. In the background, you can see that there's a monarch butterfly on one of the asters. You can see some coreopsis. On the right, you see a monarch on milkweed. But the question is, monarch butterflies, where do they lay their eggs? Is it milkweed plants and other native plants? True, or is that false?
So while we give people some more time to answer the question, we had another question come in the chat box about the income and expenses from Carolyn Gillespie.
Okay.
Why are grants such a small percentage of the income?
That just was true in 2023. Many people feel that grants support a lot of work, a lot of environmental work, and it's true across a broad spectrum. But individually in different years, it varies. And in 2023, we finished up our capital campaign, and there was some grant money that went into that. The capital campaign was to purchase land and steward land for the Poweshiek skipperling. And we are looking at other grants, but it is really a misunderstanding of the public that environmental organizations are largely supported by grant money. If you look at almost anybody's records, you'll find that the major funding comes from individual donors, which is why we're having an annual meeting to let you ask questions and to encourage people to stay involved for the following year. Does that answer your question, I hope? Thanks, Carolyn.
Thank you, Sue. And I shared the results of the poll. It was interesting because we have the audience split 50-50 almost, 46.
Well, this was a bit of a trick question, right? Monarch butterflies do lay their eggs on different kinds of milkweed plants and within the milkweed family, but not really other plants. They use other plants more for nectaring and sustaining, building up their strength before they start heading back to Mexico. Our board president is in Mexico right now looking at what is happening to monarchs. And apparently the bad news is that it's down by about 59% over previous years and maybe the second lowest population of those that migrate from our area here down to Mexico. So it's up to us to plant those other plants that the monarchs can bulk up on before they take off on their journey. But it's also important that we plant all the different kinds of milkweeds, the swamp milkweed, common milkweed, poke milkweed. There are about 6 of them that grow in this area. Come to our plant sale. We'll have some available at that time.
I also wanted to quickly mention, Pete Blank said, very true, Sue. Grants come in boom and bust cycles, but can't be relied on for necessary annual operations.
That's true. So because of all of this complexity, we've been working on strategic planning over 3 years. We completed most of our goals for 23. We've adjusted those things that didn't get done in 23 for 24, and we've planned ahead for 2025 in all the different areas: community outreach, land preservation, stewardship, all part of our organizational continuity. This is our 52nd year now. We feel like we're going forward with strength to the future. But if you would like to see our plans in strategic planning, please email us at the office and we'll send you a copy. And if you find some aspect of that strategic planning that you can assist us with, we are very welcome to have you be part of that. So please ask if you want more information on strategic planning. Thank you. I mentioned our plant sale. We do this every year, and it's not only is it important to be able to get native plants out in the environment, but it's a chance for us to meet many of you and find out what you're doing on your land. So please join us on June 1st, Saturday, 10 to 4, Neiman's parking lot. Some people have seen us there before, or in the fall on September 9th. It's a little shorter time, 10 to 2. It's cooler weather by then. But there are some things that should be planted in the fall rather than the spring. And we try to put out for you those plants that are most appropriate planted in June. Now, you know that when you go to commercial nurseries, they're advertising a lot of things for Mother's Day. The problem is most native plants, Mother's Day is a little bit too early. So please join us June 1st for our spring plant sale. Support wildlife, beautify your garden, and generally improve the environment. Thank you.
Vajnovsky asked, will there be any pre-ordering available?
No, we've not found that to work very well because we find that folks want to buy 1 or 2 of this and something of that. And so the doors will open, so to speak, at 10, and there really is enough available. But no, I'm sorry, no pre-ordering. We will have on our website, though, the total number of and the species that will be available. We're just learning from the growers right now for sure what will be available. So I would say in a couple of weeks, we'll be able to put up our list. And we're going to try to include maybe 6 to 10 plants that we've not offered before. And many of those that sell out quickly, we've ordered extra. I hope that satisfies your needs.
Kathleen commented, native plants are not only good for monarchs, but seeds and flowers also benefit our native birds. Best birds.
Yes. Thank you, Kathleen. We also want to offer opportunities to get out and explore the protected properties. We're going to do a full flower moon night hike in May and a scavenger hunt in June 29th, along with the Independence Fest. An edible nature walk, what's out there that's edible to us as well as the rest of nature, and autumn equinox hike. Those are some of the ones already on our calendar, and we expect to add a number more. Here's an example of what would sound.
There it goes. But he just hasn't got much equipment yet.
Let's play that again. That's a Massasauga rattlesnake that a group saw on a guided hike, and we were keeping them away from the snake, but the snake was trying to get away from us as fast as possible. Let's play that one again.
Rattle there. There it goes. But he just hasn't got much equipment yet.
It's because of the things that we see in nature, whether it's a fungus that we haven't seen before and we hope someone doesn't tread on it. We do try to offer guided hikes to a number of our properties. Some of the others, about 5 of them, are open anytime to you. We hope to increase the number of places available, and to do that, we need to earn a little bit of money. Our euchre tournament coming up next Thursday, the 29th, is one of the ways in which we're raising money for the organization. You can have some fun. We get a little bit of revenue, and it's a chance to meet people who are supportive of our organization. Please sign up for this. You can see the QR code to register online. And Kelly Duty will be the one who will be organizing this for us. Thank you, Kelly.
Absolutely.
You can find out the other things that are happening. We are lucky to have Dana Campbell, who is not with us today because she's off, but she's helping. She keeps up our website very well. So you can find out what's happening in the near future as well as further out. And Chris Hardman brings us twice a month our nature news. It often features animals and birds, but it also says what's happening in the organization. So we hope that you're signed up to get our MailChimp, that's the twice a month newsletter, and that you're regularly checking our website. We also have some big news to share, and that is that I will be stepping down from the position of executive director. I will continue to work, as you can see in the right-hand picture, on stewardship and land acquisition. But we will be looking for a new executive director to start in June. And the reason we're announcing it right now is because we think that in our big supporter group, you may know people who would be interested in this position. It will be posted on our website on March 1st, and please alert anyone that you know that might be interested in shepherding this amazing organization into the future. Please let us know.
So we have made it to our final activity. Pictured here are 6 different animals that are native to this region and share our home and resources with us. Some photos are of babies, some are of adults, and some are adults with their babies. We are looking for the specific term for the young of each of these species. For example, the term for a baby duck is a duckling, and the term for a baby deer is a fawn. Some animals may have more than one correct answer. You just have to submit one name for one of the species and it will be correct, and we will only be taking one correct answer per person. You can use the chat box, or alternatively, you can use the raise your hand function and we will ask you to unmute. Oh, Pete Blank put colt. Yes, that is a correct answer for one of them, for the sandhill crane.
Mm-hmm.
I think baby raccoons are called kits. Yes, that is correct, Tiffany.
Yes.
Good job. Signet.
Some people know that term. It's beautiful. It's been used for centuries in the English language, but it's so different from the word swan that signet is not known to everyone. Congratulations.
Steve Klein said they're all cute. That I will take that answer.
Yes.
Very true.
Does anybody know what the young of a turkey is called? I'll bet that knowledge is out there somewhere.
Colt?
There we are.
Colt.
Pulled or pullet, some people say, yes.
Yes. I find the ground squirrel interesting. There's like 3 different names for a baby ground squirrel. I thought the turtle one would be a popular answer. Yes, baby turtle is a hatchling, Jacqueline. That is correct.
Sometimes hatchling for different kinds of animals means just emerged from the egg. And then sometimes it gets a different name when it's not yet able to manage on its own, but it's gone past the emergent stage. So yes, hatchling.
We just have the trumpeter swans. I accidentally said the word earlier. I don't know if someone caught it, but if anyone wants to put in their guess for a swan. Yes, kit for ground squirrels. Kit is one of them. Colt is for sandhill crane. Can you make your quizzes for grade school age? So we know how knowledgeable our supporters are. So we really wanted to challenge you guys. And we always learn something new from you every time we interact with you. So we wanted to teach you something. Yes, Kathleen, Signet. That is correct. Okay. Let's go to the next slide. Here are the answers we were looking for. Those of you who were the first to send in a correct answer, be on the lookout for an email. And of course, these photos come from a few of Blue Heron's wonderful and talented photographers. We are so very grateful for them. I want to thank each and every one of you for your participation and attendance this morning. We will also be sending a gift to some randomly selected participants from today as a thank you for registering and attending the annual meeting. I will hand it over to Sue for any final concluding statement.
Well, 2023 was a good year, and we're looking forward to many more of the same. The questions about grants, we will let you know. We're looking forward to some strong support from different organizations, and we will be undertaking new projects throughout the year. I just am reluctant to promise what has not yet happened. But you can find out everything that we've talked about in this annual meeting in our annual report. We did send it out to a number of supporters already, but you can go to blueheronheadwaters.org and check on history, and you'll find the annual report and previous year's annual reports there too. Thank you to everybody who helped with the annual meeting. Here are your names on the screen, and just because you don't see a name there doesn't mean that there weren't many, many more people involved. It's a little bit difficult with over 7,000 hours of volunteer service to put everybody's name up. But look forward to our annual spring newsletter, and there will be more information in there. So last year, we had a number of people who had questions and wanted to talk. This is your opportunity in the chat box or in some other way? Do you have questions for us?
Camila, will the meeting recording be available? Yes.
Yes.
As long as as long as Zoom, I put in the settings for it to be recorded, and Zoom gave us some technical difficulties this morning. But as long as it's cooperative with everything else, yeah, we will have a recording available.
Thank you, Anastasia. You managed through the difficulties. Thank you.
Of course. It was fun.
Any other questions?
Kathleen said, thank you for protecting our lands. And Tiffany commented on the gorgeous photos.
Looks like Pete has a question. He's got his hand up.
Thank you. Thank you for this meeting. I just want to say I did not know Sue was stepping down. You said that, I think, in June.
Yes.
I'm sure you've already gotten a lot of feedback from people and gratitude, and I just want to extend mine. Sue, you've been a life changer for me. You've been a inspiration for me and for so many others. I thank you for all that you've done for this organization and for all the individuals and for nature. Thank you, and yeah, that's all.
Thank you, Pete, very much. I'm not going away. I'm just stepping back to work on stewardship and land acquisition. But it was important for us to let people know that friends, relatives, and people they might have gone to school with or something might be interested in this as a position. Thank you for your kind words.
Josh McCready, feel free to unmute yourself if you have a comment.
Just real quick, I'd like to second what Pete said. Sue has been a local legend and really appreciate all the work that she's done. But I am happy to always make donations and support the plant sale and so on. But I do really want to offer my services too. I'm a trail builder, have been working with cities and counties and conservancies now more recently across the state. So if there's any way that this season I could be available to help, I traveled 9 months last year on trail work, but have much less travel this season booked and really want to help out in the local neighborhood with trail developments. If there's anything I can do, just please reach out.
Thanks, Josh. I do know that you are available for that, and you know our local areas around here. As we acquire new land, we want to make sure that for the most part, it will be accessible to the public. So we will be looking for more trail work, more than we have in the past. Thanks for offering.
Nancy Rada asked, when did you first start with NOHLC/BHHC?
I think in 2000. I've not been in the executive director position. I've stepped in a couple of times, but I worked first with the stewardship committee, and being outside is really what I enjoy. So I'm looking forward to doing more of that, a little bit less behind the computer.
Jacqueline Brown commented, thank you, Sue, for being such a great mentor and all-around good person.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Well, keep watching. Do we have scores for the quizzes? No. We just wanted you to find out what the right answer was. The people who answered the last activity, giving the names of babies, we're going to be looking at our recorded session and make sure we get the right person who answered first. And each of them will get a gift certificate to our plant sale, perhaps another gift also. And then Anastasia said she was going to choose random people from those who were able to be part and tuned in. And we also have an additional prize for them too.
But Steve, if you're referring to the quiz questions throughout the meeting, I might be able to download a report of the everyone who answered and the percentage, if that's what you're referring to.
Oh.
And I can share that too.
Yeah, I was surprised I got some right, so I wanted to see how good I did. That's all.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I will share the correct answers.
So Camila just asked, if I could answer, what am I personally looking forward to most this next year would be more time to be outside, because there's less of that. But in my connection with the organization, we are really hoping that we can focus on a new species that is in trouble. And the Kersley Creek area has in the past supported brown trout. And we have people along Kersley Creek who have indicated interest in supporting the health of that stream. And I think that we may be able to do a lot in that area. We'll let you know when we begin to hear from the various people who could be involved, who own land, and those who may be able to donate funding to purchase easements, purchase land, or simply do stewardship next to Kersley Creek. And we'll have some beautiful pictures of that. We were very glad to have the help of the Conservation Stewards class. 4 people from that class spent, I think they were out for 4 days giving us initial temperature measurements on the creek last fall. We'll repeat that again this next year, and we expect to be planting along the creek. You can see in the lower left on this picture, there's Ava Shays, and she's identifying the gaps in the canopy that should be shading the river, where we're going to be planting what we call live stakes. You can cut willows or a few other species and actually just stick them in the ground, and they will begin to sprout and then curve over the creek and cool the creek. So because of the science involved in that and the special species and the fact that there are people, many other people who are interested, Camila, that's what I'm looking forward to most. Anybody else from the organization want to speak up? What their goals are for the year?
I'm excited to work with our new donor engagement, Kelly Duty. So far, she's had so many creative ideas and a lot of valuable input. And you can tell she's very experienced in what she does. And I'm excited to see how she mends with the team.
Thank you, Anastasia. It's been a really easy transition into the organization. It's been amazing meeting so many like-minded people. Anastasia, you set the bar high in everything you've done to this point, and all of these amazing events and educational opportunities for our public. So it's really been an awesome start. I'm looking forward most to just having successful fundraisers and getting to know more people, and increasing visibility for the organization, because what we do is so important. And living in Clarkson right now and looking at all the development that's going on scares me. You know, one of the reasons we moved here was for this open space and the opportunity to explore. And every time you see a new clear cut or, you know, a new building going in, a little bit of that goes away. So I'm really looking forward to, you know, protecting more green space. So, but thank you for the kind words, Anastasia.
Of course.
It's not only the Clarkson area. People who are tuned in will remember that we announced that we were expanding the area to look at sub-watersheds of the Flint, Shiawassee, Huron, and Clinton. And so we're finding that the same problems exist in Milford and Grand Blanc and Waterford, all around. There's so much to do. We value all the support that we see on an event like this and throughout the year.
Heather, you said I'm on the BHHC website and don't see where to sign up for the newsletter. Look for on the bottom, it might be on the homepage or it might be under like contact us. On the bottom, there should be a form to contact us and just put, I would like to sign up for the e-newsletter, if that's the one you're referring to, the MailChimp, and send us that contact form and we'll get you signed up for it. And Sam, feel free to unmute yourself if you would like to make a comment.
Good morning, everybody. Good job. I just wanted to make a couple points, and other members on the here probably have some more information, but from the township's end, we did acquire, I think it was 38 acres of the rump property adjacent to Clintonwood Park this last year, which was a big deal. Also, it's now public knowledge that the township and the Residential Open Space Advisory Committee that we started recently is actively trying to acquire all of the Deer Park property on Clarkston Road, over on the lake and across the street from Clarkston Road. I'm not sure what the name of that property is, but I know Dina was working on that with Paul Brown, and Jerry Fisher's aware of it too, but that has become public that they're not going to sell that property until the township has an opportunity to do whatever we can to secure it.
Great.
I think that's about 70 some acres over there. So that's just the update of what we're working on from the townships and to acquire what open space we can. So thank you all for your efforts.
Thank you, Sam.
And it is important to say that what we are doing as a conservancy is in collaboration with local municipalities, with other organizations that have the same mission, and encouraging those communities that haven't really kind of gotten with it yet to step up. So yes, we do a lot working with municipalities, parks, and so on. If there are no other comments, we'll close the question and answer, but we're open Monday through Friday, at least 10 to 4. We're really here a few more hours than that and can answer any questions you may have. And we're looking forward to a great new year. I know it's cold outside now, but spring is coming. So we can look forward to a great 2024. Thank you all.